Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising. It is currently 8:23 a.m. Central Standard Time, where I am coming from. Gonna do just a little quick update of how the markets have been playing out. All right, so let's take a look at the DXY on the daily time frame. I like what the DXY has done. Big bullish engulfing candle on the daily time frame, right off of the 78.6 swing level. I love to see that wholeheartedly. Go on to the 4-hour time frame. Price is rejecting off of the 61.8. So currently, what I kind of want to see, I didn't necessarily get this move. First of all, before I continue, I didn't necessarily get this move. And on my channel, what I mean by that is, and so what I really, with the DXY yesterday, I mentioned that this didn't play out like how I really wanted it to. And it was very volatile yesterday. As you guys can see, like it stock people out both ways, which is very interesting. But what I really wanted to see happen is, and you'll be able to see it on a 5-minute time frame rather than on the 1 hour or anything like that, is I wanted for price. So price ended up pushing down like I wanted to. That was perfect. It didn't go as low as I wanted it to, but that's fine because that wasn't really what I was looking for. I just wanted for price to push up and then come back and retest down at the 61.8, or possibly even come right back down to 90, like the 90.130 area-ish, for my 71% fib. But that's not what price did. Price came to the 50% fib. If you were to have fibbed this on the 50%, it came down here, and then, or if you would have fibbed this and you would have had 50% on, it came down to this 50% fib, and then it pushed to the upside, basically hitting the target that I would have looked for, and then very, very few minutes after, like 5, 10, 15, like a couple minutes after, it came right back down. Now, if I was paying attention to the markets when this had happened and I saw this rejection here, maybe I would have said, this is a risky buy, yo, try to take it. But with the news and how it happened, I probably wouldn't have said anything. So I kind of had to leave it alone. I was like, you know what? Just leave the markets alone. You can come and look at them tomorrow, right? Better safe than sorry. And so now what I'm looking for to happen is, with this bullish push to the upside like this, if price is going to reject here, y'all know what I'm here for. Because it made that low. Oh, I need my, what the heck? That was weird. It didn't continue drawing. Make the high, retest. I want to see 90.247 or 90.332, more 90.247, and then a continuation to the upside. That's when I will continue to look for buys on USD, whatever pairs, and whatever pairs USD, right? So, bye. So yeah, so that's what I want to see on the DXY. So this reflects to, like, basically, well, not reflects exactly to everything, but it reflects mostly to Euro USD. So I just want to see the opposite of this. Let's go and look at arbitrage real quick. I know the 1 hour time frame went to work. If you guys took those arbitrage trades that I talked about on Sunday, I didn't get in them. Like this one, for instance, you should be in good profits and stuff like that. But I didn't get in them. Like I said, those were just ones that I gave out. And if you wouldn't want to take them, arbitrage users, y'all know what's good. So 1 hour time frame played out. 4 hour time frame, need that retest. Yes, even though this is about to call for a buy, I still need that retest. So it'd probably be like at the 90 point. Like I said, 417 area would be decent to start looking at it, and then a continuation. If it does come down here and rejects off of it, that would be perfect synchronization for me, kind of. But it would just be that price would be under this RSI line, and then I would have to be careful. Daily time frame, still very much bearish. But so yeah, that's for DXY. Go on to Euro USD. Like I mentioned with the DXY, it didn't happen exactly how I wanted it to. Like I said, it's just the exact opposite of what I showed on the DXY. But overall, these sells played out like how I wanted. Like, price is selling down, and that's what I really wanted to see, right? So let me go ahead and delete all of this other stuff. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and right after this, I'll go on to the U.S. indices because they're about to like move since it's opening bell. But yeah, overall 4 hour time frame. If we look, I love this bearish engulfing candle right here. Let's see what the volume's looking like on that. high volume on it. I love seeing that. Now I want price to start steady climbing. I don't want it to just fall off from right here. I do see both ends of the puzzle though, but I'm looking for sells. But I do see, I'm going to show the opposition on my end, the possibility of price continuing. In fact, I think this is more of what Peyton was looking for. Peyton was looking more for price to drop down to the 61.8 and then continue to the upside, or something along those lines, for the DXY to continue going bearish. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I remember from it, but that's not what I'm looking for. But I'm going to be careful because I do see this as a possibility. So I'm going to mark this off as a zone regardless, because again, if I do end up losing this trade, I would know as to why I lost it. Like, okay, this is what I should have done instead, and not played it off like this. So I'm gonna leave this buy box here, but this is what I really want to see. I want to see price retrace up to 1.21400 and then continue to the downside. That's what I really want to see on that's what I really want to see on Euro USD right now. So if I can get price to, this is even all the way, there you go. So if I can get price to come up to 1.21415, then I would look to, what the heck? Hold on. I'm dizzy, bro. Let me do that again. So yeah, I want price to push up to 1.21415 or 1.21400 and then push to the downside. So that's what I would love to see on Euro USD. That's what I personally want to see. Now, this is definitely, don't get me wrong, this is definitely bullish. It is bullish as hell. So this is a counter trend trade. If you're looking for this buy, you probably already missed your entry, and you might want to wait for price to drop down a little bit more if you are looking for buys. If you are looking for sells, I personally would wait for this retracement before I could jump in, and if I don't get the retracement, then oh well. So that is for Euro USD. Let's go look at arbitrage real quick. And again, like I mentioned earlier, if you did take this trade right here, take profit hit nicely. This was really clean. I mentioned, I was like, yo, price is chilling right here at the upper danger zone, and it's not rejecting. If it rejects off of there, I expect the price to sell. That was a cool 80 pip move. I didn't get in it like I mentioned, but this was a trade that I said I sent out. So actually, I'm gonna keep this here, hide. So Euro USD, 1 hour might be setting up for that buy, for that retracement, which is what I really want to see. So, and then price drop, that'd be clean. This is exactly what I want to see basically on Euro USD. 1 hour, 4 hour time frame, calling for that sell already. But I would, like I said, I would rather price do this for me to get in rather than for it to come just reject off of this RSI line that continue to drop. And so yeah, that's what I'm looking at for Euro USD and all that. AUD USD, same thing like I mentioned. If you got into this trade right here, what I mentioned for that sell, that's a cool 60 pips that you could have gotten. It was a 1-to-1. I didn't take it, but again, that's for those arbitrage users more of than anything. So let's take a look at what technical analysis on AUD USD has. So for technical analysis, price, I wanted price to push up to 0.78716, then continue dropping. Yeah, that didn't happen. Price came up, grabbed this liquidity like I mentioned. I wanted it to. I like that. Also at this sell box, right up here at this 78.6. Well, yeah, it came up to the 78.6 fit. Well, not. It didn't come up to the 78.6 fit, but this is from this big ass swing. So that's what I really wanted to see. Then I started seeing this push to the downside. Beautiful. Let me check on that volume as well, how the volume was looking while that drop was happening. Yes, I like seeing big candle, big bearish candle. So this I expect to continue falling, but it's kind of like how I have right here. You know, I wanted price to fall. It came right here. It's chilling, literally how I have it drawn up, and now I want it to come and retrace. I want it to come up and retrace, and then continue to the downside. That's what I'm gonna get into AUD USD. Not necessarily 100% how I drew it to reach up here, but it's the same exact concept, guys. Same exact concept. Drop down, retest, continuation to the downside. Now, again, this is a counter trend. I can't speak. This is a counter trend trade because AUD USD, like I mentioned, is extremely bullish. But like I mentioned, I wanted to start, like, once you start seeing the signs, then you could be able to start saying, okay, maybe this is time for counter trend trading and all that stuff. Because hey, if this plays out, that'd be very nice. That'd be very nice to see if it plays out. But again, I would rather wait and be patient for more signs to tell me that, okay, yes, this is indeed gonna go bearish instead of just holding and all that stuff, you know. So that's for AUD USD. I'll go on to arbitrage real quick. It looks like the buy is setting up, just like with Euro USD. So I might have something to play with this morning, to be quite honest. So that's why I probably would look for on AUD USD, just boom, 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 and then with that retracement, drop again. Probably not this high. How high do I have this going? Probably I guess 0.78300 would be decent. 4-hour time frame, called for that sell. I would need a retracement regardless. So yeah. Ooh, I don't like this daily bouncing off that RSI line. I hate it when it looks like that. But then we can see the bearish engulfing candle on the daily time frame. I think this is going to keep falling. So that's for AUD USD. It's going to USHEF. Beautiful trade. Take profit hit, just like with the other USD pairs. USHEF was risking 23 pips, gained 57 or more. You could have held and kept holding. So that was a good trade, a good 1 to 2 plus risk reward trade. Just doing arbitrage real quick. It looks like we might get the sell, and just like with all the other USD pairs, guys, I'm looking for retracements. That's all I'm looking for at this point, for me to be able to get into the next wave. Y'all saw what I did there. But yeah, retracement, continuation, that's my jazz. So might get a sell on here real quick, but other than that, let me go on to USHEF right here. And again, same thing, price came to the 61.8. I really wanted the 70, like a little lower, but that didn't end up happening, but that's okay. I mentioned if price comes down here, look to buy limit, played out perfectly. Like I said, good 1 to 2-ish risk reward ratio that we got on that. So delete those, and then I'm gonna push this to the upside. Now that it's broken this bearish structure, I'm looking now to see, and especially like made a 100% retracement from this drop. I'm not, if you're looking for sells, then hey, that's cool. That's not my thing. But what I'll be looking for personally is for price to drop back down. I like 0.90166, literally the previous structure that it broke. That's clean for me, and then continue to the upside. That's what I'm gonna look for the play on USHEF. And if this doesn't happen, then oh well, I'm probably gonna miss my trade. So I'm gonna put the alert up here now. I'm gonna delete this. All right, so let's see what USHEF has in store for us, but this is what I like personally. Again, if you go into the daily time frame, you can see that price didn't necessarily come down to my alert at 0.89600, but it's rejecting off of the 61.8 regardless from this swing. Or if you wanted to put it up here, like how I was saying in the session, then you could say that, oh, well, price was rejecting, on the London Sunday session, is that, oh, price was rejecting off of the 0.900 from this swing to this swing. So whichever way you wanted to play it, I was still looking for buys there nonetheless, right? So that is Mr. U Chef, what I'm waiting for to see happen. I like what I'm seeing though. It's playing out perfectly. All right, let's look at these U.S. indices. I'm glad that I didn't say anything, and I'm actually now a little late because people have been trying to buy this. But anyways, yeah, again, I mentioned about this buy right here. I'm like, I just wanted to see the retracement. I didn't care for it. That's the reason why I was putting lowered risk on it than all the others. And so if you really put maximum risk on the buy, I feel bad for you, son. But anyways, these U.S. indices, now they really looking like they're gonna drop. Let me actually go look at the VIX. Shout out to Peyton. He's the one that really, if I'm not mistaken, this is the VIX. If I'm not mistaken, I may be really wrong on this. Let me actually just make sure, double check. No, I think this is it. But just to make sure, let me go look at the pair that he looks at real quick. VIXD, there you go. Okay, so yeah, basically the same thing, right? It literally is the same thing actually. So the VIX ended up popping, and so whenever the VIX pops, and I learned this from Peyton, like you guys, like, so that just lets you know that I'm always a student to the game, right? But whenever the VIX pops or whenever the VIX goes bullish, the US indices, they usually drop. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show the correlation between that, right? So let me go ahead and pull out compare or add symbol, and I'm gonna go ahead and put S&P, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the candlesticks on so that you can be able to see this much better. So you see how as this is falling, that the S&P is rising, and then now that this is rising, the S&P and them are falling. Same thing if I were to add US 30, or hold on, let me just put Dow Jones, sorry. Dow Jones Industrial, same thing. Nasdaq, NAS 100, same thing. Basically all moving the same. But now they're all looking for that push to the downside, and this is starting to push to the upside while this was climbing. Because you see that this is why I always said that the U.S. indices, they move the same. Because when you guys compare them, they really look like they're moving the exact same. It's just a little different, right? So with that being said, I'm really trying to see a retracement on the VIX to happen. Let me go back to. I'm gonna add this actually to pairs that I watch now. Add symbol. Nope. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and flag this blue. Watching that. Anyways, what I want to see is for the S&P, the volatility index, for it to retrace. You could take it from this low to this high, or you could do it from these lows right here. It doesn't matter to me personally. What I want to see, get out of here, is for price to really drop back down to like 1920 in them, and then continue pushing to the upside. If I can get that, then that's probably going to end up having an effect on, let's go on over to ABK. That's gonna probably have an internal effect on these indices. Because look, 3 days bearish candles. We haven't had something like this on the U.S. indices or in S&P in a while. Let's see when the last time we had 3 bearish candles like these. And especially with them both having volume that's increasing. Let's see the last time we had that. Right down here, 1, 2, 3, and then price made a higher high. We had a couple of days right here where price was bearish. So we have to be really careful. That's why this is still kind of a risky move overall, because this could have just been a dump and then price is literally going to push to the upside. But the way how this fell, yeesh, this looks like it's going to go bearish to me, quite honestly. Now, I am going to play devil's advocate and say from this bullish move from right here, we still have some ways to go until we get to 4,000, maybe even 3,967. So I'm going to be watching for that overall, but that's not what I'm looking for really. This turned out into a full-blown session. I was just trying to do a quick markup, but hey, let's go ahead. Why not? We're already into it. Or I wasn't trying to do a quick markup. I was just trying to do a quick review. But hey, let's go ahead. We're already here. So S&P, it's still down to these lows. If I were to personally try to buy this or sell this, it probably wouldn't even be on the 4-hour, to be quite honestly. It probably wouldn't even be on the 4-hour, and I would risk not even that much. I'd probably have to. No. I gotta do it the right way. If I have to play it, I'm gonna have to play it the right way, and wait for price to come up to like 4,190 and then drop. That's probably like realistically the only way how I could sell this. Again, I'm not trying to just, especially with price doing this, because from what I'm seeing right here on the lower time frame, this is very much a reality, and it could be so easy for the US indices to pull off, but I'm just being patient and waiting that it could literally just do. Oh, drop. I was like I was gonna pop. Nope, gonna drop some more. Now I'm gonna pop, retest, continuation. That could be so easy for that to happen. So right now I'm being very patient on the US indices. Same thing applies to Dow Jones. I mean the US 30. Sorry. Same thing literally applies to it. That was a private trade that I took. I was just fucking around. Well, not really fucking around, but yeah, for the US indices, they're all kind of the same thing to me. And this is going extremely bullish with that high volume after the open. Kind of want to see 34,566 and then a drop, but again, I'm going to have to wait and be patient. Because again, what this can definitely do right here, right now, although I doubt it will, because these are the US indices we're talking about, is that it could have easily just did the, drop. I'm going to do a double bottom, W. This is where traders were looking to buy at. It'll go up a little bit, make them happy. Nope, I push down, go up, retest, continuation. That's why I don't be trusting W's and M's like that, because of stuff like this. Because you could have easily bought right here. You saw that engulfing candle. Like, I'm gonna be in profit, and then price just drops down and takes you out the trade. So I'm gonna wait for these US indices. Nasdaq, same thing, guys. In fact, with Nasdaq, from what I had mentioned, you could be still looking for buys, because I'd mentioned that 71%, it looks decent, but still, this is overall. What is it again? I don't know why this isn't marked off, but okay. A buy box. And so this could be where Nasdaq takes off. It really can be. And if price does end up doing something like this for the Nasdaq, because again, that could have been just what this was just a push down. Double bottom. Let's make them think that they're gonna get into a good trade. Nope, I'm gonna drop some more. Push to the upside, retest, continuation. That's what I'm kind of looking for all the US indices, regardless. No matter even if arbitrage is calling for, I love you arbitrage, but even if you're calling for buys and stuff like that, because look, even on the 1 hour it hasn't. So that's even better that it hasn't called for buys on these 1 hour time frames yet. They'll call for the buys, but I still want that retracement. You get me? And if it calls for the buys and it continues going bullish, it is what it is. Then I just take the L, you know? Well, not an L necessarily, but let price do whatever. Like if it does this right here, I'm most likely not going to take the trade. Like right here. Or if it does this right here, I'm most likely not going to take the trade. But if it can do some nice retracement, then continuation, be my guest. Absolutely. I'm in there like swimwear. All right, Mr. Tacos. I don't know why I got out of you early, but it's okay because I didn't want to be in that drawdown, quite honestly. That's why I didn't want to be in it. So with Tacos, I kind of wanted the same thing. I wanted the drop, which it did. Same thing. Look what, and this is exactly what I was talking about with the US indices, so that you guys can see that the markets do it over and over again. Look what it did. Price ended up dropping. Went up a little bit, dropped back down. Let's go ahead and make traders think that they're going to get into a good buy. Price pushed up, dropped back down, then pushed back up. Now, what I would have wanted was a deeper retracement than this, like a little deeper, and then for price to push up. But you know, you don't get everything, you don't get it the way that you want it. But this is another example of why I don't like M's and W's, or as they say, double bottoms or double tops. But they can be useful sometimes because they do play out sometimes, right? So what I want to see on USD Mexican, same thing, guys. I love how the US dollar pairs reacted yesterday with this I love this bullish engulfing candle right here. Let's see what that volume looking like. Not crazy. This volume right here was much better. And you know, for all I know, this could be a potential sell right here, to be quite honest with you, because look at where price is rejecting off of nicely. 20.18272, that would have been my entry for me to get into a potential sell, but that's not what I'm really looking for on this. And also me seeing that price, like I said, I don't know why I got out of this trade. Also me seeing that price coming, like it came really low, so that's probably the reason why. It's okay though, I didn't lose that much as I was expecting to. But even with this like swing right here, or let's go to the 4-hour time frame, I was getting panicked right here. I'm not gonna lie, I panicked. So that's the reason why I ended up getting out the trade. But this is where I think I got in regardless. And so now what I really want to see is for price to come back down and then continue to the upside. Honestly speaking, I like how this ended up playing out from this bullish move. I didn't think it was gonna play out like this, but I didn't want to try it. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and be patient and wait. So let me go ahead and hide this. But yes, I would love for price to come back and retrace down to here before pushing to the upside, just like every other USD pair, right? And if it doesn't do that for me, it is what it is. But that's what I want to see. Y'all like that N? Next wave. Anyways, so USD Mexican peso, the peso, that's what I want to see. 1 hour time frame might be setting up for that drop. So hey, I might play that drop for the retracement. Let's see. Mr. Goldilocks, man, if you took this sell from, if you took this sell from the left shoulder and you put your stop loss at break even, just like how we put our stop loss at break even here, I feel bad for you, because this really pissed me off. Because look how much after it did all that, after it dropped and after it gave us good profits, that what it came up to do, it came and stopped us out at break even for both here down at 1834 and 1843, and then dropped. Look, after it stopped you guys out right up here, look how many pips it dropped down to. This is the type of stuff that makes me really angry at gold sometimes, because I would have not been in the trade. And regardless, look, it dropped 347 pips. 347 pips. That would have been very nice for me this week, honestly. That would have been great for me. But unfortunately we didn't get that, and you know, you just gotta chuck it up to the trading gods at that point. You're just like, alright, it is what it is. You can't do anything about that because you played it perfectly. You played it off the right shoulder. You got the retracement, 1834, that was the 71% fib. You got into that went into profits. Both of your risk to reward on those trades, you hit 1-to-1. You played everything right for price to only come out and stop you out before dropping astronomically. Unless you were paying attention and you were being hella risky and to sell right here. I don't know what to say. So with gold, that is that. But I still kind of am, I still am very much bullish on gold. Because, I mean, just look at all these higher highs that it's making. I want to see what it does if it comes down to like 1799, basically 1800, or 1792. Once I see what it does there, then I'll start to like be like, okay, maybe we'll start to look for another push to the upside type of vibe. You feel me? But until then, I'm being patient and waiting. I need some water, man. All right, Bitcoin. I mentioned to you guys, I wouldn't buy right here. And if you would have got in at the 71% fib, you would have had thousands of pips. Like when I'm saying, look at this drop all the way that it made to back to these recent lows at 47,000. You would have had 12,619 pips. If you would have sold from this 71% fib right there, I wasn't looking to sell it though because I really wanted price to come up to 74,000. But just based on how things are moving, I'm not really sure if we're gonna get there. This month, I feel like we're gonna have a deep retracement very shortly. Let's go look at the greed index. Let's go see what the crypto fear and greed index is looking like. 31. Everybody's terrified. The greed was high. Remember how I mentioned on Sunday? I was like, yo, the greed is high. You might want to start looking to like get out of these trades because the greed is high. And now look at this. Last month the high it got to was 74, and now it's at 31. Personally speaking though, as much as I do love this re-entry, because this is where we got into our first Bitcoin buys from this push to the upside. Let me get rid of these other fibs. Hold on. I'm leaving that sell box there just for visual representation at this point. Price came back down to the 78.6. I kind of think that since price did 100% retracement from this move right here, that it's gonna just keep dropping. Now, I could be wrong, and it could just be doing a double bottom right here. But at this point in time, now all I'm really seeing is a potential liquidity grab, or for a price to really wick fish, whatever you want to call it, down to these lows. That's what I see now. That's what I personally see right now. So what I'm really going to wait for, and remember how I said, don't rule out 42,000. Do not rule out 42,000. That's kind of what I'm seeing still at this point. And so that's why I'm being patient. You guys know how I do with these cryptos. If I give a crypto call, it's either gonna go super bullish, or it's gonna like I don't even remember the last time I gave a trade that was like a dud. Like I think the last time I gave a cryptocurrency trade that didn't play out well was when I was trying to sell Bitcoin up here at 60,000 or something like that. I think that's the last time I called it L. So with that being said, again guys, I think that price just might end up pushing down. Even for 39,000, I'm not gonna take away from that, and then maybe we'll start to see this 70, like the likes of 78,000 getting hit. But until then, I am being patient. Now, they are on sale, and if you want a dollar cost average, yes, it might be wise to dollar cost average these cryptos. But I'm not feeling it. And same thing with Ripple, guys. I kind of want to see the likes of 89 cents, maybe even 77 cents get hit before I look to buy it. I did want to see the $2 move happen, but remember, I had this sell box, and I'm like, I'm personally not going to get in. And so that's what I would personally want to see before we like see the likes of $2.50 and stuff like that. So as much as I would rather just have price boom there for my holdings, MT4 wise, this is how I'd have to play it at this point. Because same thing with Bitcoin. Now all I really see right here, and that's possibly what it already has done. And if that's what it did, then that'd be great. But all I see is price just possibly coming down even further. Which I know that a lot of people don't want to hear that, but I don't want to just buy off of this support. There's no way. If I can get price to dump down and just do like what I regularly would like for it to do, then maybe I'll get in. Like, okay, I made this W. That's cool and everything. If we could break this, retest, and then continue, then yeah, maybe I'll take that. You know, maybe I would look for something like that for an entry. That would not be bad. But I got to see how things play out. So, Litecoin very much undervalued. Came very close to my area where I would look to buy at. Dang, it hurts to see that. So I'm gonna have to just be patient. In fact, I'm gonna have to set up an alert here, because now I was gonna get caught blacking. Create that alert. Let me go into the weekly time frame and see where it's at. Yeah, guys, this thing looks like it's gonna really take off very shortly. It's almost at its all-time highs, at 420. Hey. That's so funny. It's just hilarious to me. But it's not quite there yet. And I would love if it came back down to 288.76 to maybe start to take it to the likes of 500, 541. But again, guys, Litecoin very much undervalued. Even though you might see the $323 and be like, oh, that's expensive, it's really not compared to what we've seen on Bitcoin, what we've seen on Ethereum, and what we most likely will see on Litecoin. I think Litecoin could definitely hit 1,000 by the end of the year. I really do believe that. So with that being said, trade wisely. Weekly time frame on Ethereum still looks extremely bullish. I love it. But for me personally, to try to get into a long-term trade on this, although right now doesn't seem like a bad place to try to get in on entries. I mean, I know Peyton is probably looking at some entries right now. It doesn't look terrible to get in at entries at all, especially where prices came and rejected off of. And that goes for all the other cryptocurrencies. But I would kind of rather see, just me personally, and I know Peyton is like, I'm not trying to hear any of that, is price come down to like the likes of 2,970. Even if it comes to 3,000, maybe I'll even start dollar cost averaging and holding more Ethereum, right? But again, I want to see price come down here because I feel like these cryptos are going to drop even more than what they already have. I really do. So let's see how that plays out. Gbp Usd, man, talk about play of the week status, man. It really did that thing. I thought price was going to come up a little higher. It didn't. It bounced down. I was doing this on a call yesterday and I was explaining to somebody why I would have gotten into this sell. It dropped down. Let me go over here, sorry. Retraced, came up to the 71% fib, wicked it. Even if I would I probably would have just set a sell limit at this point. And then look, price executed my take profits and some. Perfect GU play. I'm not gonna lie, this was like really clean on GU, and unfortunately I missed it. But this was really the play that I had called on Sunday. It went up a little. It did go up higher because, like I said, this is what the market makers do, guys, and you guys seen it multiple times over and over again on my analysis. Price would literally come up and stop you out if you say like, oh, double top, stop you out, retrace down. Drop down, retrace, continue to the downside. This looks like a head and shoulders, right? That's kind of what a head and shoulders plays out to be. So that's why I like head and shoulders a lot out of a lot of the different market structure market structure patterns. I cannot speak today. But anyways, GU, I still see this possibility of a sell playing out at the structure at 1.39961 or 1.400 basically. It could definitely come a little lower than that, but I'm going to play this off first and then we'll see what things play like. And that's just it for GU. I'm not going to talk too much about it. GA, I think I'm getting the play that I want. I wanted this stop hunt to the upside after price took out all these lows. Let's see now if it drops like I wanted to, then I want that retracement and then a continuation. But for now, this is bullish. I would leave it alone personally. And GJ is such a troll. It really made these highs right here and then dropped down like this. That's funny to me. I don't know if I'm going to try to play this because GJ is just full of doo-doo right now. But hey, it could be a possibility. Could be a possibility from this high to this low. Push to the upside, 154.116. Put your stop loss above these highs. It could be a possibility, but GJ is just bonkers like that, man. Like, look, it's just making higher highs. On the daily at that, on the weekly at that, it's extremely bullish. It's barely coming into these highs on the weekly. On this supply zone, because this is definitely a supply zone. So, I'm just saying, I'm going to draw this out and make it huge so you know how big the supply zone is. So, with GJ, hands sitting on him. You could try it, but that's not for me. And Euro GBP, don't tell me you played my life. Oh, Peyton got into this so clean. This 61.8, and he had the limit set there. He's been talking about it. I went a little too deep on this, but boom, look at price moving in action from that 61.8 back to these recent highs. I think price is going to keep going, but if I were to try to get into this, y'all already know the vibes. Push to the upside, retracement, continuation. After price had made double bottom, made traders think that price was going to go their way. Nope, I'm going to stop you out. Push to the upside, retrace, continuation. Clockwork. Look for the same things over and over again and execute on those things that you see. If they don't play out, wait for the next time. That's what trading is, y'all. But anyways, and the rest for arbitrage, I'm not going to really look at them because I'm getting tired and I have a lot more other stuff that I have to do. So thank you for checking out this analysis. It's your boy ABK. Next wave is on the way. Arbitrage, you know they do that thing. I know you guys like how that rhymed. Later, y'all.